Hello Internet, welcome back to the workshop. In today's video, we're going to make a chip guard for the homemade Walker Turner drill press milling machine. If that interests you, stay tuned, we'll get started. I pulled the spindle out, you saw that in the last video. Absolutely no play in any direction, except it's developed play in the up and down. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But there's about 25 thousandths worth of play up and down. And I pulled the bearings out, and the bearings look great. I mean, there was no free play. They were in really good shape. So I repacked them, put the thing back together. I'm still getting a little up and down. I haven't sorted out what's causing that or why that is, but it doesn't seem to be the bearings. So the first big change, I managed to find one of the original collets that Sears sold for this machine for milling. And I managed to find this one, new old stock. Even came in the box. So if you're looking for this, you know, this is kind of a unicorn, but the part number is 2467. I've also seen it as part number 24672. It is sized to let you use a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch mill in your Sears or Walker Turner drill press. And then just buy all your tooling in either 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch shank. You'll be good to go. If you can find one of these and you're doing what I'm doing here, snag it. So that collet was the first change I made. I'm getting a lot of chips back here on the column, and I want to protect this from those chips. So the next thing I'm going to do, I bought some rubber sheet. This is 12 inches by 48, 1/8 inch thick. I'm going to cut it to length, and I'm going to mount it to the back side of the drill here and use it as a flexible shield to protect the column. I didn't show it in the original build video, but afterwards I added a safety stop to the column. This is effectively a steel collar that clamps around the column, and then if I grab this column lock and I accidentally take it loose, the spindle won't go crashing down and, you know, rip my arm off or something. Instead, it'll be caught by the safety collar. This one here I think is homemade. I got it on eBay like dirt cheap. It was $10 shipped to me. It's made out of 3/4 inch steel, and whoever made it drilled it and tapped 2 1/4 inch holes on the face of it. What I want to do is take a piece of steel strapping and I want to drill holes in it and mount it to that safety collar, and I'll make it 12 inches wide, and then I can attach that rubber sheet to this, and that will provide the upper supports. And then this is the old base plate for the old small mill press. And these bolt holes were here to hold that column to the table. Since I've got 2 of them, I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to cut another piece of that strapping to 12 inches long, and I'm going to use 2 bolts and bolt this to the table, and I'm going to sandwich that rubber strip between it. So I've got to cut this to length. I keep my metal cutting saw outside, and it's starting to snow, so I want to get those cut first, and then we'll come back in and we'll actually make this thing. It should go really fast. Those cuts I made, they were a little out of square, so I'm going to use the mill here and square them up. So this is the upper mount. I marked the location of the holes from that safety collar, and I'm just going to drill these out. So I need to add some clearance on this side so the hand wheel doesn't hit. What I'm going to do is just bend it backwards, and it'll provide a little bit of protection for this wiring as well. So I'm going to bend it right about here, and I'm going to bend it back towards the VFD. That looks good. So now I'm going to drill 4 holes in this, and I'm going to use those holes to attach the rubber to it. I measured, and the maximum distance that that mill has between the head and the table is 18 inches, and that includes 1 inch for fold over. So I'm going to cut this strip of neoprene to 18 inches. I was digging through my stash, and I actually have a bunch of these pop rivets, so I think that might actually be how I attach this to the metal. Pop rivets won't come loose, and they'll be a lot quicker to put in. So I'm just lay it here and mark the location of the holes, and then I'll punch these, and then we'll pop rivet them in place. Alright, so there's the top side of it mounted. The bottom, I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to put 2 holes in the metal and bolt it to the holes that were already in the table. So for the bottom, I've got these holes here where the original column from the other drill press was mounted. I'm going to drill 2 holes in the piece of metal for this, and what I'm going to do here is just put it over top, tighten bolts down, and have this clamp this in place. We're unlocked. Now that does restrict access to my lock, but that's okay. That right there is the lowest that the table will go, so let's take it up now. Okay, we're up past the top of the vise. We're getting a nice crease here. I'm hoping that it buckles or something. Maybe like that. I'd like to find a way so that it kind of folds on itself as it goes up. I might have to add another mount or maybe another bracket on the column back here. I printed a really nice bracket, 2-piece bracket, out of carbon fiber PLA because that's what I had in the printer. And my idea was that that would fit around the column and would attach to the rubber sheeting through these 2 front holes. And it's loose, so it would move up and down as the rubber moved. But it didn't work. It didn't work like I thought it would. So the solution ended up being just to cut this a little bit shorter. So now this is as low as it can go, and you can see it's pulled this rubber pretty tight. So it doesn't get pinched in there like it did. So if I go up here. Alright, so we're at the top of the vise. It hasn't pinched or bound. Let's see if we can bottom out the table. So what will happen is it will eventually sink down into the gap between the table and the column, but that keeps it tight all the way up through the usable travel. I think that's it for this video. I mean, it'll be a quick one. I just wanted to show you guys kind of what I was thinking for a chip guard and how I installed it on my little homemade mill press here. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you did, would you consider subscribing to my channel? I'm a really small channel, and you know, subscribers are the way of the world on YouTube. So if you enjoyed the content and you hit subscribe, that will enable me to make more of it. So I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch this. Thank you.